Hey everybody, this is Rob for the Module 1 assignment, drawing maps of relationships with people in my life through games. So starting on the top left corner, I have my wife Andy. So Andy's not as much of a PC person as I am, but we play a lot of card games and board games together. One example I have up here is Magic the Gathering that we've played together. We'll also play different kind of board strategy games together. Whether they're we play a lot of co-op games too. Whether those are board games or also card based. A lot of dungeon crawler type games. We'll play those together as well as with her brothers or other family members. The bottom left, I've got my son, little Robbie. So this isn't exactly a formal game or whatnot, but right now he's 2 years old, so he's learning. So we have flashcards for letters and words and things that he's learning. And I see that as a kind of game adjacent type activity, what we do together. In the top right, I've got my friend Adam. We play a lot of Dead by Daylight together, so that's what that's meant to represent up top. He lives in Minnesota, so a lot of the games we play are online on PC. And then on the bottom right, I've got someone who I've known online for years. He goes by the handle Borgrim on Twitch. Back in the day, I used to be a Twitch streamer, and so he was someone who kind of joined the community really early on, and we've stayed friends since. So try to provide different examples here, like PC gaming, board gaming, game adjacent, maybe learning education activities, and then on the bottom right, more talking about games rather than gaming itself. So I know there's a few questions also for reflection here. As I open this, it says, is there commonality in the types of games I play with others? Actually, no. I think the types of games, I'm pretty flexible in the types of games that I like to play with others. Maybe the commonality is that the kinds of games that I play with others sort of reflects the relationships that we have or the proximity we have to one another. So board games, in-person card games with my wife because we live together, obviously. PC gaming with friends who are online but not physically close. Other examples of that. So if there's a commonality, maybe that's the commonality. What types of experiences are fostered through the games or type of play you have illustrated, and how does that affect your relationships with others? Well, I think, again, just it reflects the relationship too. I mean, because these sorts of in-person games, when you're in person, you get to laugh with one another, see the other person. There's a lot of body language. You can play party games together because of that. And then playing online with someone who's farther away, I guess it helps you maintain that relationship and stay connected, even though you might not be physically present with one another most of the year. I know that going through activities and games with my son helps to develop our relationship as a father and son together. And then, of course, on Twitch, talking about games, that fosters relationships as well and creates its own, opens its own doors. How did your local culture influence the games you chose? So that's interesting. When I was a kid, there was this, I think it was more like a baseball card memorabilia store, but they happened to sell Magic the Gathering cards there. And that's how my friends and I got exposed to the game. This must have been around 96, 97. Around the time that you had Ice Age, maybe, alliances, something around that time. And it was just, it was more like the availability of games. So that was the game that was available. And we would ride the bus together to school, and there'd always be that hour in the morning and that hour after school that we were all together. So that was perfect for, throwing your binder on your lap, playing some Magic on the bus, while you're sitting next to one another. So I guess that influenced the choices we made way back then. And I think those are all the reflection questions, so I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for watching.